guess it's going to record dark today. I don't know. I have not been pleased with a couple of things here. First of all, I'm not very pleased with this thing right here. This Holley EFI thing. I could be partially my fault. I don't think so. These are very problematic too. How come it's so dark? I got the lights on. So anyway, let me get my flashlight out. See, I got the lights on. I don't get it. Okay, so that thing right there. These things are problematic. Love to hate them, I guess. And there's that EFI thing. So this car does not really have much draw on things. I mean, starter's a starter, I guess, and stuff like that. But because I don't, boy, it is really miserable out there. We're not going to be test driving today. It is cold and horrible. I don't crank these cars and drive them every day. So, you know, you use those little green shut-off things there, and so you cut the power off. So, one of the things that they're big about on here is that you have to, if you're going to use the, it says, let's see, using hot start feature is optional, which is the red with black. Hooking up start wire consistent 12 volts allows GPS to quickly acquire satellites. So, but that's not hard to do, but it's something you got to think about if you turn your car battery off all the time. And I do that, and so, but it says, let's see, the feature saves your current satellite sensors to restore your position, power up. Please note Speedometer has been powered off for long before it takes. So what it does is, and maybe and there's the antenna. I mean, you know, how much better can you get? I mean, I can't put the top up on this car because there ain't one. It's up in the attic. So it'll work, and then it'll go dark, and then it'll go to 0 when I'm going 50. It's not consistent in any way. But it also, current draw is, 25 microamps. So virtually, that's a little scary word there. So I guess I'm going to have to just keep charging this thing up, because I'm going to try to keep this thing hot, and then we're going to test it later. So there's that. And so here's the thing. What you got to do is you got to let me slip through here. You're gonna have to hook this thing up in a different kind of a way. So what I'm gonna do is and you got, let's say, green battery switch. We talked about this. I'm gonna have to wire it up, which is easy to do, to keep the speedometer hot even when I take this off. So that means I'm gonna have to have a fuse, because I turn everything off down here because I don't want anything burning down. And so I guess that's a big old truck. So that's just going to mean I'm going to put the ground wire here and a hot wire here, and it'll be hot all the time. Not keen on that, but I don't see any other choice if I'm going to do this. Look at this thing in the correct way. And if this doesn't work, I ain't going to have a speedometer. I'm going to just turn it off and forget about it. I'm not going to worry about it anymore. So your red wire goes to keyed ignition. Your black wire goes to earth. You got your antenna. White wire goes to lamps, and red-black goes to constant with a 5-amp fuse in it. So that's the way we're going to have to do this thing. And the other trick to this thing is, don't use any part of the starting system to get any kind of voltage, because it says voltage under 9 volts, causes it to reset. And I also note that I use earth to shut the car down. I don't use power to shut the car down. You're going to use larger wires, but the wires on the back of the unit are not very big. I mean, they're kind of tiny, but the voltage drop thing here is what we're worried about, because you lose voltage over a length. So what do we got here? 4 feet, 5 feet maybe? But I'm still going to do everything I can to make this thing work. And you might wonder, why don't I use the original speedometer? Well, because that thing's already charged up. I'll be danged. Well, let's unplug that then. It didn't take long. I bet that hadn't been plugged in 15 minutes. These AGM batteries are great. Don't listen to Sean. Sean don't know what he's talking about. Okay. I don't use the original speedometer cable and speedometer worked on this car, but this is a 5-speed Mustang transmission. And I got it to work on that transmission, but it just leaked oil like all the time. So then it just finally just sort of gave up because the routing system was so convoluted that the cable couldn't hold up to it, and it just it did the flutter thing and all that stuff. So why would a guy go to this kind of GPS speedometers? Because I had to. I just got tired of the stuff leaking out of it, the fluid leaking out of it, and everything else. So this is why I'm doing this, and these things are expensive. So I had high hopes on this, and I had high hopes on the air mixture thing. I had changed the jets in this car the other day. It's too rich. The air mixture on the Bonneville is great. It never gives any trouble at all. This one does, and I don't know what I'm going to do if that goes bad. I might just take all that out too. I've about had enough of this modern mess. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm also sick and tired of the wind blowing on me. I'm going to close that back door. I got my power wire plumbed in here, and there's the 5-amp fuse that you can't, well, trust me, it's 5-amp fuse. And I wire my own cars generally, so I don't worry too much about stuff. So anyway, I try to do it best I can. But I always try to put my fuses as close to the battery as possible. If I have a fuse box, I generally do the same thing, because if you get a short, you want it to blow out, close instead of melting your wire to that point. But anyway, you know what I mean. If you put it at the end of the line, and if you short from there, your fuse isn't in the way of blowing. So anyway, got the power side. This is going to the red black. Okay, with a 5-amp fuse going to the red black wire. So let's go do that, and then I'll work out my earth wire, and we'll see how that works. So I have my earthing wire going directly to the post here, and route it far away from this one. Okay, and so we're ready to set this thing up, and I'm very tempted to go out there in that, but I keep hearing pepper rain, so I guess I'm going to have to wait and do that tomorrow. Well, it won't be tomorrow. Maybe in the morning. I might get to it in the morning. My day's booked tomorrow, most of it. So Thursdays are generally like that. Let's see. Well, let's get it through the firewall and get hooked up and see what happens. So when I plug this in now, she's going to be hot directly, right. Okay, we have everything wired. So I don't know what happens when you plug it in, but if 25 microamps ain't going to flash no lamps or nothing. So let's, get my favorite wrench. And that's saying something, because you're talking to a man who's got wrenches. Alright, let's see. Antenna, lamps, and everything. Alright, so let's just plug it in, power it up, and see what we get. I just hit the reset button on the camera. I don't know what in the world, why it was so dark. I apologize for that, but I don't want to lose that footage. So I'm doing it, and I guess I need to take a picture of that for the open. I don't know. So I've just soldered in another 5-amp fuse, because I'm going to bypass the key switch. Now, I have had trouble with these old cars on key switches. Actually, I had to have the Holley towed here when I was moving up here, because the key switch went out. So I'm bypassing that. Now, last night before I went in, I powered it up the way it says do it, and the lights and everything on the speedometer would not go out. That's going to be pulling more amperage that way. There's no way I'm going to leave this car overnight with that light on in that speedometer. So I'm getting ready to do the shrink tube and this thing. So here is my switched ground. I've decided not to do that because it's pulling too much power. And I'm going to push this thing out there where we can get every satellite available. And I got direct powers to not only the red but also the red black. And we're going to just that's all I can think to do. That's all I can think to do. Now I am going to I think this one's going to red black. I'll look and see the yellow one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the fuse out of this red one so it'll think that the key is off. Right now it's just going to be on all the time unless I pull that fuse out. And I'm going to see if this thing, once it acquires satellites, it does seem to be working better. So the bigger wire to give it more voltage does seem to be where we're going. God, blessed birds. And so I think that's part of it. We're going to just push it out here. I'm going to let it sit for about 10 or 15 minutes and see if that thing powers down. That's about all I can think to do. If it doesn't, so what? And if it does power down, I'll move this back to direct power here. Boy, the light is a lot better, isn't it? Okay, I apologize for that. I don't know. I'm just not very technical when it comes to computer stuff. I love stuff like this, and I'm good at it. Oh, somebody wants me. Let's see who it is. So what we have now is the red ignition switch wire is not hooked up. The red-black is. The black is to earth. And the white wire. And the antenna. So we're getting ready to push her out. So let's turn this thing on. Now she'll make a spark because of the radio. There you go. That's just what I expected. Now the other thing about the radio is it'll show you current sometimes. So it's not showing on. Okay. Interesting. Well, maybe I did something wrong last night. I don't know. So let's push her out. And it's a complete matter of indifference. Let's see, the garage door's up high enough. Oh, come on, baby. Okay, come on. There you go. Easy does her. Let's get her out. Let's get that antenna out there. Got enough light now, don't you? Okay. Okay. That's good enough right there. Okay. Now, I can tell that the battery's hooked up because my light comes on down there, doesn't it? Yep. And the clock is running, and it's not showing any pull. So you see there's nothing in the key switch. It don't matter because I bypassed that. So let's put this fuse back in and let it start acquiring. So apparently it needed to have some help. So here's my little 5 amp fuse, and it goes into this one, which goes, this is like turning the key switch on. Okay, let's see what we got now. Watch it not come on at all. Yep, it's on. It says acquiring. Well, you can't see for the okay, that's the reflections. So it says acquiring. So we're going to take it on the road now. You about ready? Well, I am. What time is it? I don't know. I got to go eat something. Musty One says he's got to go eat something all the time, so can I. Let's turn this right on, and it'll show you. It'll count down from 20 while it heats up, and we'll see what it does. Now, that showed 5 miles an hour, and I hadn't moved yet. So, you know, this is rich, this is lean. It's cool because yellow, I had a color tune, and if you can look into the cylinder, you'll see that when the engine's rich, it's yellow, and when it's lean, it's red, and the green, that really should be blue, but everybody's different. I think I can take it. All right, I'm gonna let her warm up. Let's see how much, let's see, that's showing pretty good right now. Let's see how long that lasts. can spend a lot of money on these things and get the instant reaction and all that stuff. Okay, we're gonna let it warm up a little bit, and then I'm gonna take her on the road, because right now we're at 0. Well, not 0, but we're pegged at the bottom. It's been about 2 minutes, and for some reason it kicked over and went back, went to 160 and went back. And that's still working, I'm shocked. Not warmed up yet, but I just wanted to note that for some reason it reset. I don't know why. I got a fully charged battery, I got an alternator, I got all got chilling here, so I don't know what in the world is going wrong. I don't know why this thing is such a hassle. River's always load up at idle. Okay, we're warmed up now. We're gonna find out here in a second. It hasn't done anything unusual. So let's just see what we got here. If it works, it'll be a miracle. Well, that gauge is working for some reason. The choke is all the way off. Let's not lose our paperwork there. Stay between the ditches. Well, it looks like it's reading. Maybe that's it. Maybe that was it. Maybe it was a combination of voltage lost through the key switch, and maybe the wires weren't big enough, and maybe they need to stop this riding bikes on the road. That'd be nice. I'd enjoy that. Okay, looks like things are going here. I don't want to mess with these guys. Let's go the other way. Truck here. Alright, seems to be working. How you doing? Alright. Well, let's go into here. This is a pretty stretch of road through here. Things still recording? Yeah, okay. This is the longest I think the speedometer has ever worked. My suggestion to Holley and these other people, there are a lot of guys out there that just want a speedometer and odometer. We don't care about a quarter mile, and we don't care about all that other stuff. We just want a nice, simple gauge. Seems to be working. I don't know why. Okay, it's been a while. We'll run into those biker dudes probably. So I went the other way. It seems to be fine. Everything seems to be fine. I guess that direct wiring matters. Now I want to say too, that key switch I got in here is relatively new. Since I got burnt on the Holley, I was pretty cognizant of the other old key switches, and that's just an on-off switch because the starter button's over here. So I wired them separate. There you go, 5th gear, baby. That's a big truck. He's getting right in front. Every time you go into 5th gear or overdrive, somebody pulls out in front of you. You can count on it. Probably went about 5 or 6 miles, but it seems to be very stable, better than it's ever been. Another couple of miles and no problems. Okay, we're showing a fairly good mixture. It cruised, that's okay. I got about the smallest jets you can put in at Weber. This is only a 1.3 liter original motor. You don't need a lot of jets. Alright, well that's going to be a wrap. I got to give it a thumbs up now. I guess you just got to give it all the beans you can feed her. And let's see if we can pull her in the coast on in here. Oh, will I make it without going in gear? Yes. Alright. That's it. I'll be riddle sprung. Look at that. Alright. Now it's going to stick there. Look at that, it didn't go down. It's waiting on the key to go off. Well, hang on for that, hang on. Okay, I've been letting it sit for a minute. My bonus footage, I'm supposed to say bonus footage. So let's put the, let me make sure I got that in a good non-reflective. I can't really do it, because it's, I'll try though. Let's do it like this. And I'm going to turn the battery on. Okay, I see it. I see what you did there. Well, I guess it's just got a reset. See, I just came off the road. You can tell that's a coarse centigrade. So, I don't know. Now it's at 0. And that stuff's blowing. Okay. You would get the worst reflection of all time, wouldn't you? Okay, there you go. Well, it reset to 0. So let's disconnect the battery again and see what it does. I guess it's just not broken in or something. I don't know. All right, well, bye-bye. See you next time on something different. I got a pretty interesting flooring video for some folks that have that fake flooring that looks like wood, but it separates. I had some ideas, and I've turned somebody loose on it, so that's going to probably be the next video on flooring, believe it or not. Because I do about everything. I try to do everything, keep myself busy. Bye-bye, guys.